What's going on, my peoples? Frags here, back again with yet another Division 2 build video. In today's video, we kind of got something a bit different. It's more of a confusing build, a build that shouldn't really work, but it absolutely amplifies so much damage at the same time. It does use a striker build, but it's got two things on it which are going to kind of confuse you, and like I said, they're going to surprise you about how well they work. We're going to get into some gameplay first, and then we're going to get into the build. Peace. Alright, so we're going to start going through the Lincoln Memorial, just to kind of showcase a weapon and show you guys what it can do. I feel like it's better to kind of give you like a bit of a real hands-on showcase of it. Because then you know I'm obviously not telling you pork pies about how good it is, just showing you clips that I've picked out.
Got a visual on additional hostiles in the memorial compound. They're moving south.
Should be pretty easy peasy. Hopefully we don't get the spawn that's like the 2 grenaders in like 3 rooms. But you never know. The shield thing is kind of starting to get annoying. I'm not too sure if that's like something that I put on there. But my shield, whenever it breaks, it keeps stunning me. And it never used to happen. But it has started happening recently, but who knows? Who knows what it is? I have no idea. I'm not too worried about it. But my shield has been breaking a lot quicker recently, so... Anyway. Let's get it. So we get one of the first spawns. So kind of with this, I do build stacks, but I build a lot slower than most people do because most people would use the shotgun to build stacks.
Needed.
See what I mean about that shield? Shield literally always lets me down lately. I need to have a look into my...
Serious trauma.
Fair enough. I need to have a look into my shield talents.
All clear. I repeat, the compound is all clear.
Like I said, like this isn't the best armor, and it's not about kind of survivability. It's more about kind of cover to cover and taking out enemies as you go through quick as you can. So yeah, survivability isn't the case. Like you are going to get one tap sometimes, which is why we had the reviver hive. But more times than none, you're going to be able to clear a room a lot easier than you're going to be able to clear a room normally with a normal setup. The thing that annoys me about this game is like how erratic the players are sometimes. But they're all just taken out straight away. The stacks are going up, which means we're kind of getting a bit more output. As I said, the AoE is absolutely insane on this build. Absolutely crazy.
DC-62 detected.
Heads up. Isaac just ID'd those shells as chemical weapons. Can't afford to let the True Sons escape with those. You gotta find a way to close
on to the next one. Gonna go through this part right now with the shotgun just to show you how much the stacks build up with it, because it's not all about the chameleon. Like the shotgun when you're building these stacks, it's absolutely decimates as well. Like,
Backup request.
you probably could just go through this map with just a shotgun. I mean, see that guy with the foam, like, you're shooting at me, so I was switching targets and I'm switching more targets, and it's like, you're taking down the health at exactly the same time, and it's incredible, really. One of the builds that, like the title says, it's extremely confusing how it works, but how it works is, well, amazing at the same time as well.
According to the schematics Isaac pulled upstairs, we can lock that tunnel door from that control center. That should keep us from being able to transport those orders forward to CT-62.
So by taking out the turret, like it's taking out the other players as well. It's just actually crazy. The AoE and stuff. Like, you don't normally get a lot of AoE builds on this game. So
Serious trauma.
What? Are you kidding?
like I said, I do maneuver around a bit more than the usual player would, which is why I do get kind of like a little bit more fucked up than normal person would, because normal person would go cover to cover. But I do play a little bit more erratic. So if you are going to use this build a bit more, what's the word, a bit more reserved, then you're going to obviously get a lot more out of it. It's part of the mission where you kind of can go a little bit wrong if you don't get the hits. Well, I like using this mission as kind of like
Immediate medical assistance needed.
a bit of a benchmark, if you will. Ooh, what do we get?
The team from the campus has taken position.
A tardigrade armor system. Not too bad. Not the best thing in the world, but I'll take it. Right, so getting into the build, a lot of you are probably going to be looking at this already, thinking to yourself, what the hell is he using? Those items shouldn't go together. And if they do go together, they shouldn't work as good as they do. But they do. They work. I don't know how they work. As I said, the title says the most confusing striker build. Not too sure how they work, but it works and it gives a lot more damage than it should do. So, going to get into this, and as usual, we are using the striker. A lot of people are using it at the moment. It's kind of meta. There's a lot of really good builds that are going around of it at the moment. A lot of St. Elmo's builds as well, and a lot of people who kind of wondering why I'm probably using the chameleon on a striker build. I say it's more because of the RPM of the chameleon than anything else, but it also does hit quite hard with the health damage and the damage to targets out of cover with a certain build we're using at exactly the same time. Obviously, they're 30% headshots, give us more crit hit chance and crit hit damage for 45 seconds as well. So if you're getting up close and personal to enemies, you're going to be getting like an enormous buff from hitting headshots as well, because most of the time we're going to be hitting headshots. Body shots give 9% weapon damage for 45 seconds. Basically, the start of the mission is where you're going to be building your stacks for your striker, and you're going to be building your stacks for your chameleon as well. And as you can see, the start of the mission, I kind of lose a lot of health, but at the same time, I kind of go from being a little bit not doing damage to kind of like taking out enemies quite easily as well. As are the bosses. The bosses are quite easy to take out as well. As I said, we're relying on the striker and mostly the chameleon to do a lot more damage. Also, for getting stacks up, we're using a rock and roll shotgun with damage to armor and damage to targets out of cover, 50% ammo capacity. I also do sometimes like to use the stack broker shotgun with a brazen talent as well, but it hasn't got a magazine capacity as big as this, so you are reloading a lot more. But as you can see from the gameplay, going into a room full of people close together, yeah, and absolutely decimate with the shotgun, and it's so easy to do. But getting into the main part of the build, we are using a 4-set striker. We're using a backpack, a harness, a holster, and a mask. Obviously, with each one of these, they're all going to be mostly weapon damage, crit hit chance, crit hit damage. Most of them are exactly the same. I've set them all up basically for crits because you're going to be going for headshots most of the time for the chameleon anyway. But obviously, with the striker's harness, you get the extra 100 stacks. So it goes... it goes from 100 stacks to 200 stacks. And then also with a backpack, you're going from 0.65 weapon damage to 0.92 weapon damage. And you might be asking yourself why I'm using something that kind of gives me more weapon damage, but I'm not kind of getting the stacks that much. Because the stacks that I am getting are being amplified by the chameleon at the same time. So I don't really need to go all the way up to get the stats. Because I could go and get the stacks all the way up. And that's completely fine. But I prefer to just run and gun around the chameleon and get the extra 9% weapon damage that I am getting. So if I'm getting halfway through the stacks anyway, I'm still getting like an extra 50% weapon damage on top of the 90 from the body shots and the chameleon and the other crit hit chance and crit hit damage from the headshots as well. So also with this build, we are using the turmoil knee pads, which give us crit hit chance 8%, weapon damage, crit hit chance, crit hit damage. Like I said, it's a lot of crit hit on this. And then it gives us a talent called Bewildered. So when dealing weapon damage to an enemy, 50% of the damage will be dealt to another enemy within 30 meters instead. When there are no enemies nearby, deal damage normally. So basically, anything that's got health damage, so mostly red enemies or other enemies when you've got their armor down, when you're shooting one of them, 50% of that damage that's being dealt to that enemy is going to be dealt to another enemy at exactly the same time. So you're basically shooting 2 enemies at once. Like I said, it's good for when you go into rooms that are full of people that you can shoot one enemy and it's killing other enemies as well. Because like you saw in one of those rooms, those red enemies are going to scatter across the place and they're going to be annoying to kill. You're going to have to run around. So being able to just shoot one enemy, that is in time going to kill another enemy, some random place on the map you haven't got to worry about, then it's going to be a lot easier. Because like you see as well, in the kill house room, I'm shooting one guy and I'm like, well, he's behind cover now. So I'm going to start shooting the other guy. And then that guy that I've started shooting that's not behind cover is then going to transfer the damage over and kill the person behind cover. So with that, we are also using the OVERDOGS with weapon damage, crit hit chance, crit hit damage, not perfected yet. This is also going to give us amplifies weapon damage by 30% to the lowest ranking enemies currently in combat. And that's by tier hierarchy. So it goes from obviously the ones that have no speciality to the ones that have the most speciality, which are going to be obviously the big dogs, the bosses, the like it says, marauders, warhounds, all them kind of things. But the good thing about this talent with the specific build that we're using is we are going from having 30% extra amplified weapon damage to actually having more along the lines of about 80. Because we are basically doing 50% damage to 2 people at the same time, with this, if we're damaging 2 people at the same time, we're not actually damaging them for only 50%, we're damaging them for 80% because it's amplifying the damage being done, not the damage to the person you're shooting, it's amplifying any damage being done to anything on the map. So we go from 50% per enemy to 80% per enemy, which means that we're only 20% less, which then from the other parts of the build we're using are being amplified by the striker and also the chameleon at the same time. So if anything, we're actually now dealing probably close to actual 100% damage to 2 people at exactly the same time. And that's why I use this build, because it's so much amplification with obviously the crit hit chance, crit hit damage, and all the mods together, which are giving that extra bit of damage at the same time. So we're basically going around doing all the damage all the time from a crit hit chance, crit hit damage to any enemy in the vicinity that hasn't got armor. And when you also have that crit hit chance and that damage, you're getting that armor down as quick as possible anyway. So you'll see me go into rooms and I won't be aiming for the red enemies, which are the low tier hierarchy, as I should do. I'm actually aiming for the higher tier, mostly purples, not golds, because we're taking out the purples, which in turn takes out the reds for us and we haven't even got to worry about them. So we're better off getting the armor down on the bigger guys first and then taking out red guys without even having to shoot anything at them or worry about them at all. And that's the best possible case scenario, and that's why I've found this build so good. And yes, obviously we are extremely weak on this build. But this is why we use the Reviver Hive as well. obviously because it just revives all the way down. I do need to put some mods on it, but I haven't got around to doing that yet. And we also do use a shield. And apart from that, we also do have the specialization we're using, which is Gunner, which does give us armor repair kit damage, gives us a 10% armor on kill as well, and also gives us a bit of a buff on some of our items that we are using, the shotgun and the assault rifle. But yeah, that's the build. And like I said, it's one of those builds that a lot of people are going to kind of turn their nose up and going to be like, oh, well, it's not worth it. But it's worth using. It is fun. It does get you through heroic missions as a solo. And like I said, it works. It does a lot more than people think it would do, because it's kind of like intricate and confusing to work out. But yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you do use the build, leave in the comment section how you found it. Obviously, this build is kind of like a solo build only. So as I said, if you're playing in a group, it's probably not going to be for you. But yeah, leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know if you enjoyed the build. Let me know if you're going to use it. Or let me know anything you think I can change on the build as well. But yeah, maybe make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed already. I'm going to try and put out maybe one more striker build. And after that, I'm going to try and use my thing. I think I've got a Nemesis build in the way as well. But yeah, that's been Frags. Peace out.